hear all of these amazing work and very diverse and sometimes very focused work. Uh, I'm, um, I want to share with you. Unfortunately, Professor Bardh will not be able to be here, but I will try to fill in for him. I want to take you on a short journey that I have stumbled upon throughout my different points of research. As Professor Besa mentioned, I have been investigating issues related to microtonality, spatialization, all in regards to new ways of composing and developing music as a tool, which is a point of convergence of different cultures that I've noticed since 2009 and 10. All these aspects that the first professor who talked about transhumanism was talking about. So I've been interested a lot in these aspects of how we can make new tools to connect different parts of our musical world and musical worlds, which seem sometimes distant, but I think for me they are more a question of lack of social tools to bring these scenes, as we call, or genres together. So in this, so my motivation is coming from this a part while researching microtonality, and I have been curious a lot also about this kind of historiography, this potential historiography and deeper understanding of our musical heritage within the Balkans. Recently, with Professor Reze, with Professor Besa, and a lot of people in the Institute of Albanology and many other parts in around the Balkans, we have more and more documentation. So a lot of the pieces of the puzzle of 20th century, of 19th century, of 18th century, they are coming together. Recently, we have also some interesting publications in liturgical music, which is from 16th and 17th century, also around Albania. So for me, I'm interested also to understand on a more global way how things are connecting in history. So I'm going to try to bring you much back further. I had stumbled upon these two, three words which are factual Illyrian words, which are documented, and was looking into these archaeomusicological studies that have been done with reconstruction of ancient Greek music. And it was a very experimental question. This is more than 2 years of work until now. Uh, how would, because we talk a lot about Illyrians, especially in Balkans, and we mostly talk from a visual perspective, how they look, how they. So I thought, like, what was music like back then? And to me, it was kind of more of a thought experiment because I never would have imagined to have the possibility to do something more. So I took these little words that I had, and I actually had some wrong words, which were not factual, and they amounted up to 8. And I said, I'm gonna try to find a kind of formal basis from the studies of Neritan Seka, of Stipčević, of Peter Taboris from his work with ancient Greek music and many other studies. So I started to kind of get this idea how to do this, and started to make like a platform and work around this idea with the goal, very simple goal, of reimagining a kind of potential Illyrian sounding music based on the closest possible association and comparison to neighboring music, which in this case for Illyrians is the Doric tribes. And I had a meeting with Professor Bardh. Uh, was never even thinking that this would work, you know. So I kind of made a mode. I don't know if you can hear this. Have you heard that somehow?
Mm-mm.
Not? Yeah. I will have a problem to show you the audio here, but I had constructed
Maybe in the end you can show
this
after the
mode. Can
demonstration.
you see this here?
Yes.
Yeah, something like this, and had started a little bit to construct a kind of pattern that would be an alternative version of these what we know from Doric tribes. And Professor was very interested because he came up with this kind of a platform to reconstruct potential Illyrian words. So we started on this journey since more than 1 year now. So this is a work in progress. And we went from this lyric which I wrote, and Professor made this kind of triangle of Indo-European um, dictionary, Mesopic, which is the Illyrian, Romanized Illyrian tribes in beginning 0 to 2nd century, living in Venice, and more recent Albanians. So he would extrapolate the different potential words which I wrote in Albanian back towards the Indo-European version, going through this route back and forth. So we did several investigations in this direction separately, and we came up with, you can see maybe here, these are, this is the, can you see this? Al, Teuta, Kel, Sal, Ul, Ulk, Meg, Dor, Guerm. Can you see this?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So this is the basically the text that we came up with a lot of investigation through existing combination of existing words and this triangle of back and forth from Albanian to Indo-European dictionary, which we have ways to go back to. So this is the basic lyrics, which has a translation in Albanian and in English. And I started work based on different inflections from the text. So as I mentioned here, so I'm going a little bit back and forth. There's a lot of investigation with Wilkes, Stipchevich, and Seka. And these works also provide like a kind of environmental context, um, available building materials at that time, and archaeological traces of instruments and ritual objects, which guide the instrumental and kind of scenographic choices for this potential song. Here you can see, can you see this? Yeah. Um, Based on all this, I started to think of, and we started to kind of generate what are the most possible instruments to be constructed in mountains in that time, in that period. So, based on all the material and all the facts that we have from surrounding neighbors and what we actually know from all this published work, these are the five, I call this like the Illyrian quintet, These are the five instruments which are the most possible to be constructed that in that period. And I have done a kind of investigation through sorry, all the possibilities of the range of each instrument and have started kind of making the basic sketches for this instrument, which is one stringed. You know this. We had Mr. Valiant Shkodra present part of that heritage here. So a kind of instrument which is close to lahuta is possible. And secondly, here you have the leaf. Leaf playing is quite known also in Kosovo, which is still present today with various players in a different region. I am currently in contact actually with one of these people, and from the ensemble that I direct, I have now five people who are actually working with me towards finding a most organic way to use all these elements within a kind of solo and ensemble version in this quintet form. The third one, as you see, is the ocarina from Runic in Drenica in Kosovo. Then you have several types. This is maybe not the best illustration, but we have a lot of accounts that Illyrians and tribes that were neighboring made a lot of percussion from hollow wood, hollowed out wood with a different um, types of skin of animals, etc., and various very simple shepherd's flutes, which we call in different Albanian regions ful I shokos. So this is also the kind of more instrumental part of this potential reconstruction of this musical heritage. Then I mentioned this, and it's going to be very important to try to understand a little bit a kind of scale framework. So I took this approach from a model perspective. Because no Illyrian notation survives, the model world is constructed through regional and chronological adjacency. The project adopts a kind of Doric type mode as the primary pitch framework. And this corresponds to proximity, as I mentioned, between Illyrian tribes and Doric Greek regions, extensively documented in Wilkes and Stipchevich. The mode are treated strictly as modal, non-tonal functional, with limited range and stable central pitch, and melodic turns that avoid equal temperament and semitonal behavior, which is quite different from what you see here. But as you can see, I mean, this project has taken many permutations towards in time, and this what I presented earlier is basically one of the earlier versions. The song is organized around the clear strophic song form, so verse, bridge, and a kind of chorus. Rhythm is derived directly from spoken structure of the Illyrian text. Lines are first spoken to identify natural stresses and syllable length. Rhythmic patterns are then stabilized from the speech flow. The percussion follows and reinforces these accents. Within this undertaking, there's a lot of layers, one which are related to ritual, geography, and visual layers. So together with all this research, I've investigated and continue investigating parts of geography which could be connected factually to sites that exist today in Kosovo. We have a very specific anthropologist, a cosmographer from Kosovo, which we are working with together to try and find the best examples of how these potential archetypes of Illyrians would look like. So this quintet with two different singers, when we present them in the near future, would look the most Illyrian. And of course, for the dramaturgical part, we have these studies of rituals which are still present. They are pagan rituals which have been integrated into different Christian celebrations in Kosovo related to different seasons. So this part is that dramaturgical part, which will give us context for the songs and for everything in between. I mentioned this part also. Yes, so currently we're trying to bring together one part of this song. Then this project is potentially will be developing more towards this idea of filling some puzzles within this European context of older pre-Christian musical heritage. So and there are different stages to this, but for the moment we are looking forward to setting kind of the framework, as you can see here, with the different parts and the different fields, because this is quite an interdisciplinary approach, and it requires a connection with different fields and professionals. And for a first presentation, potentially next year, we will make a performance of this song, which is called Teuta. Thank you very much. I hope I didn't take too much of
Very
your.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Liburn. An interesting experience that we are looking forward to see live, possibly. It goes in line with the, let's say, the entire literature that speaks about music, place, identity, culture, memories. That is somehow also guiding my presentation as a final presentation in this session, and that somehow connects and reminds us that music is the most profound, how to say, profound human practice. And although we cannot have all the documentation for all the human practices that happened in the earliest, let's say, times, we can now, with the help of technology and the knowledge and the professionals in the music composition branch, instrumentation, and others, reconstruct those realities that are somehow lost, but can be revived again in the combination through music, technology, and knowledge and professionalism, if I may make a summary of Liburn's presentation. By this, I also open now for questions and comments with regard to Liburn's presentation. Liburn, you may revoke the screen if you want.
How do I do this now? Okay.
Sharing. You have to find somewhere there which says stop sharing.
Stop share. Stop share. Yes, I stopped share.
So any questions or comments?
Yes, I have a comment. Thank you very much. I was thinking about how many original decisions can composer make, and I want to share one maybe important information about one Georgian composer. She's Eka Chavashvili. She is representative of post-Soviet generation of Georgian composers, and she always tries to revise and rebirth Georgian pagan rituals in her compositions. and he's tend to create multimedia compositions. So in some of his compositions, she has this pagan, for example, healing rituals as a basis of multimedia music. So it's a very interesting experience. Thank you very much. So I wanted to find parallels between my Georgian music and your ideas.
Can you say the name again of the composer?
Katja Bashvili.
Yeah,
She's very, very interesting and original composer, representative of eco music, by the way, in Georgia. And every time she creates multimedia projects, she is tend to use the pagan rituals, something from antiquity, Georgian antiquity, and involve it in multimedia projects. So very interesting topic.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. For this is like a very challenging, but my focus is very clear and approach is very clear from the beginning. So that's why I'm able to keep up because to tell the truth, it's a bit quite complex to try and tackle all this. I'm focused first on potentially making this first song. I'm very happy that we have worked a lot. That text that you saw there is the closest we can get to a kind of Illyrian of 0 to 2nd century, and it's in a period. So we arrived at a type of Illyrian which is one which has lost its grammar in a way because of the Roman occupation. So it's really the closest we can get from the extrapolation of this triangle that I mentioned. And my goal and approach is to try to reconstruct with what we have, with what you have, not to imagine necessarily from zero. Okay, even if we imagine something, I would like to go with this idea that I mentioned through association and comparison of the closest neighboring which they had interaction with. And Dorians were actually interacting a lot with Illyrians of this part. So, because I'm also, it's quite complex because Illyrians were until Croatia and very spread out throughout this part. For this, I'm very interested to work deeply and find some potential reconstruction for Illyrians who lived in mountains around Kosovo and Albania. This is the focus for now, and we have a little bit more documentation in recent times, so we can, I think, try to come as close as possible to that. It will still be a reconstruction, just like a lot of ancient music that we don't have facts for will be, but at least it will try to follow a kind of path which is going from the fact, not around the fact or imagining the fact.
There has been some research at the Oxford University about the ancient Greek music, and they have managed to reconstruct, and you can actually hear the choirs of that time singing still, using the instrumentation that was supposed to exist. So this is a quite interesting approach, and for purpose of learning and including with technology and the way how today children learn, it can be a path to a wider learning platform with the games, with game production and visuals experts that we have, to have a complete platform, historical, let's say, learning platform through visualization, through music, through historical facts. So it's quite interesting and challenging undertaking. Well, we come